Hi, I just want to do a quick video on how to disassemble the lower receiver and then reassemble the lower receiver. There's quite a few YouTube videos out there on the upper assembly, so I won't need to do that, and I'll just focus on the lower receiver to make it a little bit shorter. So this is obviously for the KWA M11 NS2 version. So let me just go ahead and take the upper off, and then we can go from there. You just take this pin out, everybody knows. So you pop that pin out, and essentially just back and carefully try to get that hook out. So let's set that aside. Okay, let's get to disassembling this KWA M11 low receiver. First thing you want to do really is to remove this switch, this selected switch, and to do that there's a tension spring along here, that silver part that you see right there. You have to depress that down, push it down so you can wiggle the switch out, because it locks into a detent. So let's see if we can do this. Oh, I'm sorry, I got messed up. You got to lift it to get that out. There. And just hold your thumb down to make sure nothing comes flying out. Just wiggle this, and eventually it will come out. This will come out with a spring, so don't lose that. And this also comes out. And next thing you want to do is you want to, oh, I forgot to mention, I already took this off. This is very important. There's a this is really the first thing you really want to do. There's a pin that goes in there that holds this, which is like another fire and save switch, and you can just pull that off, and that allows this to move up when you pull the receiver out. So that it's important also to make note that this has to extend it far enough so the two holes line up and you can put a pin in. And there's a trick to doing that, and I'll make sure I go over that. So now gotta take a trigger assembly out. So to do that, the same tension spring is there. You have to depress it in order to push the pin out. This is going to be, it's not really that hard to do, but to do it for you on camera, it's a little bit more complicated. It's just, you kind of like need 3 hands. There. Okay. Just hold everything down with your thumb and pull it out, and be careful nothing comes flying out. The spring, this is a tension spring, and the trigger, and then notice the alignment of the spring. So the long end goes on the inside, and there's a little, it turns up a little bit, so that spring comes out. And now we can do this and just push it in. And then you can just remove this. And then the bottom part is this, which is the part that goes in here and comes out of here that locks it in place. So that's it. If you want to go further, you can just unscrew this right here. Then you this just moves out and this drops out. It's not that, but you really don't need to do that unless you plan to replace this with a metal receiver from G&P, which I have done. I have a set of upper and lower metal receivers that I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with it yet. So that's it. Now to put it back, the trick is this part that extends through here. Keep in mind, remember that there's a little ball bearing in here, and underneath the ball bearing is a tension spring, and it helps that little bearing to kind of like, you see those two little dimples. That's why the ball bearing hits it, depending which position it's in. You see this slot right here? That will fit into the edge of this frame right here, right there. So hold on to that and just fit this in there, and make sure that it extends far enough and it fits into the slot. If it fits into the slot, then it'll go down far enough. You can feel it fitting. See, this is what it would look like. I don't know if you can see that. There. That's what it looks like if it fits in there. And that's what it looks like out here. And this will extend down far enough, and then you can slide this back and forth depending on the position you want it to be in. So hold on to that, make sure the bearing is still in place. And what I do is, now I get this goes in here, fits into the slot, and holding that in place, just kind of split. There. So see, just notice that this is extended out pretty far now. So the next step to putting this is putting back this tension spring. Oh, sorry, got it backward, guys. So the curved end right here goes in the back. That's it. And that's why it wouldn't fit. So next you want to do is, I usually try to put the trigger pin in something that would fit. You press that. fit it in there. I'll push it in a little bit so it goes partially in. Then I'm going to line up the spring. I know you can't see it, but there you go. I'll push this in a little bit more to hold the spring. Then I'm going to drop the trigger in. Ouch. You got to get the whole line up, so that's the hard part. You can see that I'm trying to get. So that should lock. Okay. Next, this little piece, the spring goes in the front. It just drops it right in the front to line it up with a hole. Line up with this hole here. And later we're going to have to just lift that up a little, the little tension spring up, so the safety switch is going to go in. But before we do that, we need to put this in, and obviously this little groove fits into the pin that's sticking up, and the spring goes on the bottom. But before you do that, see this? Let's see how I can see that. This bar has to pull up under tension out of the way so that you can drop the thing in there. So you gotta hold it in place. Up. You can hold it. Drop this in. And then drop this in. So you notice that here's the bar. So it has to stand up under tension there. And all you have to do is just I kind of like just slip it underneath like this, under the spring, and just work this way in. Then before you get to the last part where you can see this little notch right there, that the tension pin is going to lock into that, so you're going to have to lift it up. So lift it up and just kind of twist and work its way in. Shouldn't be really that hard. There, almost. There. So you know you have it in it correctly. Let's see if you can see that. It just locks shouldn't be loose. It should be some tension there to lock it. And basically that's it. And you can put this back. And the way it goes in is the thin side of the wall goes on the inside like that. And then you can drop your pin in. Yeah, it's going to require a little bit of hammering. Yep, so there you go. Back. Safe, it won't fire. Fire. And if you want to, then you can put this back in. And you gotta make sure the hook obviously like goes back there. Okay, we'll do this. Why is it so hard to get back in? There you go. So now you take this pin, push it in here. Make sure everything lines up. Give it a little tap. And it should work. See? There we go. That's it. Hopefully you find this helpful. It's not that hard. It's just that when you're trying to do another camera and get it on right angles and things like that, it's a little bit more difficult. You can't get the leverage you want to get. So it's pretty straightforward. So hopefully this helps everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.